Hey y'all, it's Jessica from Sloppy Swatches. Today I have the Hitchhiking Adventure collection by Colores de Carol. These are available right now. I'll link her storefront down below, and these were sent to me for review. I will be top coating all of my swatch photos today with a Ready in 5 quick dry top coat from Colores de Carol. This is a 5 free top coat, which is really kind of hard to find, especially in the indie world. It has almost no smell at all, and it performed really well. I will be showing it on all of my swatches today. First up is No Matter Where You Go, and this one is described as a yellowish green hollow with gold flakes and micro hollow glitters. So I'll go ahead and show you a bottle shot. I did have some settling of the larger holographic glitters, but it's not a big deal at all. I'll just shake my bottle and they kind of disperse again. I'll show you a brush shot, and I'll show you how No Matter Where You Go swatched on my natural nail. So here is one coat. The formula on all of these is phenomenal. This one has more of a jelly base, so it does go on quite sheer, but really evenly. So this is one coat. I'll let it dry and then come back in for a second. Okay, here is the second coat. These aren't gritty at all either. Even with all of that glitter in there, they go on nice and smoothly. This one is almost opaque for me at 2 coats, but not quite. I do still have some more jelly areas. So I'm going to let this dry and then come back in for one more coat. Here is my third and final coat. You can see there it's almost opaque. My second coat was a little bit still wet, so I had a little bit of smudging. That's user error, definitely not the polish, but it is completely opaque for me in 3 coats. So here's a look at the completed mani without top coat. These dry down super glossy, but a top coat is going to protect it and make it last a little bit longer. Here's a view from another angle in direct sunlight with top coat. This is my swatch photo under artificial lighting. And once more at an angle again under artificial lighting. Today I'll be stamp testing using a Bundle Monster Plate 719. I'll only be demoing it for this first swatch, but I did repeat these same steps with all of the polishes. I'm going to apply a generous amount, give a firm downward scrape, and then an upwards roll with my Born Pretty stamper. These picked up pretty well. I'll go ahead and show you how it's stamped over white. This stamps as a really bright chartreuse green with a lot of yellow in it. It did do a good job at getting opaque. I had a little bit of problem picking up the smaller details on these. I think if I moved faster, I may have been able to get those. I'm going to show you how it stamps over black now. This is my DRK matte with top coat. I repeated all the same steps and transferred it, and this looks really cool. You get a lot of that hollow with just a little bit of the tint. It's not going to show up super bright, but I do like that effect. So next up is Gypsy Spirit, and this one is described as a pink hollow with silver hollow flakes and micro hollow glitter. This one is really bright. Again, it's in one of those more jelly bases. I did have a little bit of settling, but that's no problem at all. I'll go ahead and show you a brush shot, and I'll show you how Gypsy Spirit swatched on my natural nail. So here is one coat. This one goes on super bright. This first coat is a bit sheer, but that's sort of the nature of the polish. It did go on nice and evenly. I had just a tiny bit of pooling, so you may want to do a thinner first coat. I'm going to let this dry and then come back in for a second. Okay, here is the second coat, and this does build it up almost opaque. If you're a stickler for nail line, I kind of am, you may want to do another coat. I'll go ahead and show you what a third coat looks like compared to a second coat. Okay, here is the third and final coat for me. It's just going to deepen it up a tiny bit and add even more of that sparkle in. So here it is at 3 coats, and then on my middle finger I have 2 coats. So it's just a bit brighter on the middle finger, and I can still see a little bit of nail line. This is the completed mani at 3 coats without top coat. Here it is from another angle in direct sunlight with top coat. This is my swatch photo under artificial lighting. And once more at an angle under artificial lighting. I'll show you how Gypsy Rose swatched over white as well, so just a nice pickup. I did have problems getting the smaller details again. I do think these dry fairly quickly on my stamping plate. I'll show you how it's stamped over black. And again, you get a lot of that really cool hollow with just a tint to it. I had a little bit of a glare there, but you can see really cool. And it never failed when I was stamping with these over black. I did end up getting these smaller details into the stamp there. So next up is Carefree Caravan. This one is described as an orangey red hollow with hollow flakes and hollow glitter. This one is a lot more pigmented than the others. This almost looks like a just plain orange based red until you get in some lightings, and especially when stamping it looks a little bit more orange. I'll show you a brush shot and I'll show you how Carefree Caravan swatched on my natural nail. So here is one coat. This is really warm and fiery and bright. It's almost opaque at one coat-ish, but I am going to let this dry and then come back in for a second. Here is the second coat. It is recommended to wear a base coat with this shade because it may be a possible stainer. I didn't have any staining, but I always use a base coat when I swatch, so 2 coats is going to bring this one completely opaque. Here is a look at the completed mani without top coat. Here it is once more at an angle with top coat in direct sunlight. This is my swatch photo under artificial lighting, and once more at an angle under artificial lighting. So I'll show you how Carefree Caravan swatched over white. You can see there it looks a lot more orange, maybe like a burnt orange on paper than it does on the nail. I'll show you how it's swatched over black. Again, just a really cool tint and a lot of that hollow. You may have problems like picking out the details in a stamp over black like this. So next up is Bogus Journey. This one is described as a cherry red hollow with hollow flakes and micro hollow glitter. Very, very bright, it's almost like pinky based. Gorgeous and fiery. I'll go ahead and show you a brush shot and I'll show you how Bogus Journey swatched on my natural nail. Now I am a big red fan anyway, but these went on so opaquely and smoothly and all of that hollow. I love this one and Carefree Caravan. I really love them all, but this one is almost opaque in one coat. I am going to let it dry and come back in for a second. Like you could totally get away with one coat there. Here is the second coat. And this is going to deepen it up a tiny bit, add more glitter, and bring this completely opaque. Here is a look at the completed mani without top coat. Here it is from another angle in direct sunlight with the 5 free top coat. This is my swatch photo under artificial lighting. And once more at an angle under artificial lighting. I'll show you how Bogus Journey swatched over white. I keep saying swatched, I meant stamped. So this almost looks pinkish over a white. It is definitely red on the nail. I'll show you how it's stamped over black. So this was a really cool effect. You got a lot of that red hollow in there with the silver hollow. I really love how that looks. Lastly today I have a Road Warrior, and this one is described as a black hollow with hollow flakes and micro hollow glitter. This one is very much a true black. It doesn't get grayed out by the silver hollow at all. I'll go ahead and show you a brush shot. And I'll show you how Road Warrior swatched on my natural nail. So here is one coat. This one is deliciously opaque, very, very dark, very true black. With careful application, this could totally be a one coater. I did have a little bit of a low spot on my nail, so I'm going to let this dry and then come back in for a second coat. You can kind of see my low spot there towards my cuticle area. No big deal at all, but I am going to go ahead and even it out. Here is the second coat. And even this doesn't really deepen up the first coat because it's just that dark. All the hollow in it is very gorgeous and scattered. This is an amazing polish. So here is a look at the completed mani without top coat. Here it is from another angle in direct sunlight with top coat. This is my swatch photo under artificial lighting. And once more at an angle under artificial lighting. So I'll show you how Road Warrior swatched over white, stamped over white, really opaque. You don't get a ton of that glitter over the lighter color, but it is a really nice black stamping polish. So I'll show you how it's stamped over black. This is the one that I'm really excited about to use. It almost looks like matte versus glossy stamping because of all of that holographic glitter, and it is black tinted. Really cool effect. So here is a quick look at all of the colors stamped over white. Again, you get a lot of the pigment, not so much of the hollow over a lighter color. And here is Hitchhiking Adventure stamped over black. So that wraps up my swatch stamp and review of the Hitchhiking Adventure collection, available now from Colores de Carol. I will link those down below. If you'd like to see more photos, I do have those available on my blog at sloppyswatches.wordpress.com, or you can follow me on Instagram at sloppyswatches. So thanks so much for watching, guys. See you next time.